Oh, yes. Yes.
Hey guys, welcome to Podcast vs. Player episode 48. I'm Cal, and as always, I'm joined by a man who used to wonder what it was like to read people's minds. Then he got a Facebook account and he got over it. It's only Dan.
That is so true.
It is, isn't it?
Every telepath, you're out of business as soon as Facebook came along.
People sat there like, I've been making 15 grand a year just telling people shit. And now they're just putting it on Facebook for free.
Yeah. Oh look, my baby did another poo. That's great, well done.
I'm in Spag Belford, see? Here it is if you want to look at it.
Yeah, here it is before, here it is after.
It's just a plate.
Yeah, and here it is after it fell out of me.
I'm surprised people don't actually do like a life cycle of their meals.
No, I've said this before, like people don't need a Facebook account, they need a diary. Because
Well, that's essentially what Facebook is, isn't it?
No, it's supposed to be, you know, important, exciting things that are going on in people's lives. You know, things that are relevant or interesting, rather than, oh God, I just, you know, bought some new perfume.
Yeah, I can't smell it. Does it?
Well, that's good for you. Well done. I say that, I'm pretty sure half the stuff I put up on Facebook is fairly irrelevant.
But it's usually quite funny.
It's either ranty or funny, usually.
Like, you have no idea how much I laughed at, I can't remember what day it was one day last week, and you said you had to deactivate the fingerprint scanner on your phone because it looked like you were molesting your phone every time you unlocked it.
Yeah.
And I was literally sat there on my own, like, and I just laughed like a fucking twat. And I usually always laugh at your fucking statuses. I never put a status up.
No, I don't think I've ever seen one of yours.
I literally use Facebook as free storage.
Yeah.
And like a calendar.
Well, that's a practical use of it, rather than, oh, everyone's so stupid but me. Go back to school and get an education, and everything's spelt wrong. Like, I spent, it was probably about 2 hours or so on Friday or Saturday, just on like websites that list like stupid things people put up on Facebook. Yeah. You know, it's like 10-year-olds and stuff that is like, oh, I'm a thug, man, don't fucking mess with me. And it's just like, you're 10. Yeah. What are you on about? And just people just putting up the stupid. Like, a really common one is like, oh, my teachers are so stupid, they keep saying that the sun's a star. It's not a star, it's a sun. It's just like, sorry, you're the stupid one, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you should stay out of school for a good while longer.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes, that's not the news. That was a ramble.
Yeah.
Not really very much new news. Facebook is useless. However, we are on Twitter. That's where all the good stuff's at.
Twitter's where it's at, yeah.
But we are going to make you listen to the entire podcast before we give you the username.
Yeah, because you're so desperate.
Yeah. If you wanted it, you'd have got it by now.
Yeah.
Anyway, would you like some news, Dan?
I will have some bloody news.
Well, it's a good job that I've got you some.
Go on.
Soon, Dan, you'll be able to take a screenshot with your Xbox. It's a slow news week.
Wow.
Head of Xbox Phil Spencer revealed on Twitter that a screenshot function is coming to the Xbox One. Quote, "Nice to finally be doing this on my Xbox One developer kit," Spencer tweeted, accompanied by an image of said function. He later added that the screenshot functionality was one of the top user requests on feedback.xbox.com, and the Xbox team will properly introduce the feature and share more when they're ready, which Spencer says will be very soon. So it will be nice to have a feature that's already on PS4 and phones and your fridge and every piece of fucking tech nowadays.
Unless it's like sort of thing where it, you know, records like 10 seconds continuously, and then you go, oh, that looks amazing, and then you press pause or whatever, and then scroll through the last 10 seconds of footage to get a screenshot of whatever it is. If it's a screenshot that you have to press the Xbox button twice or something to take a screenshot of, how are you going to know? Unless you just like taking a picture of a background or something, which no one wants to see because they can go and see it themselves.
Whenever I've used the screenshot functionality on the PS4, it's usually been something that it hasn't been in mode. Like, I could stand still and do it. Like, I was playing Far Cry, and I killed some of like the I was going to say terrorists then, but like the bad guy people, like
Usually
factions and stuff. Yeah, pretty much terrorists. And a tiger came in, and as I threw the grenade into the van, this tiger's just fucking launched in, and it's blew up and fucking killed everyone, and the tiger died. But when I went over, because I felt really bad because I killed a tiger, and I got there, and the tiger had landed with his arm over one of the men, and it looked like they were spooning. So I just held the screenshot, the share button down, and it took a photo.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I can only imagine that a function like that would be of use if, you know, someone fell over and their arse was in the air, or you know, someone gets exploded and then hangs off a lamppost. You know, just funny things that you can't really predict. You know, it's just something you come across, just go, oh my god, what a crazy glitch, or whatever. Or leaderboards,
Easter eggs,
Duty, whatever, and then you go, oh shit, I came first. You know, 30 kills, no deaths. But instead of a screenshot function, it should be a share function, which means that so you put it on Facebook or whatever and say, look, I played Call of Duty, because apparently people want to show this stuff off. You know, here's the leaderboard from my last match: 39 kills, no deaths. I'm the best. Suck it. Something like that. You don't need a screenshot for that, because then you've got to take the screenshot and then upload that. You might as well just upload it straight from whatever it is that you want.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to. Like on a PS4, and you can upload it. You can save it to your PS4. You can upload it to Twitter. You can upload it to Facebook, etc. I think you can even post it on like the social feed on the PS4, so like your friends can see it as well.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I mean, if you've got a feed for it, yeah.
I've mainly took photos of like DC. To be fair, like I've made a character. Oh, I've made Arrow this week. Or made Arsenal or Deadpool or whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get used a lot. But I suppose people want it, so they put it on. That's
really the number one requested feature.
Yeah. It's not the fact that I would like to be able to export my videos to a USB instead of uploading them to fucking SkyDrive.
Yeah.
That is my number one feature.
More functional Connect.
I haven't got Connect, so I don't care about that.
No, but I'm assuming some people have. Yeah, and I would have thought that would have been more of a, you know, initial
No, because all it'll be is Connect. It'll be just Xbox screenshot. And then it'll take a screenshot of your Connect in the bin. On fire.
If it's a Connect screenshot thing, that would be... Because I reckon you'd get to that a little bit quicker.
Yeah, the snap function is not very fast. For like recording and stuff, and I'm assuming it'll be exactly the same to take a screenshot. But if something's happening, you've Xbox screenshot, and it'll just take a screenshot. But the likelihood of it actually working is slim. I would rather take those like 2 extra steps to use the snapshot function.
Yeah, I think it's they're trying to do the good by people, but they're fixing a problem that's not really too much of an issue.
To be fair, I didn't really notice it wasn't there, so I don't really care. Anyway, moving on. Legend of Zelda live action series might be coming to Netflix.
Yes, I've seen this, yeah.
Following on the success of original programming like House of Cards and Orange is the New Black, a recent report suggests that Netflix may be expanding even further, using video games as their kind of niche, I suppose.
Well, they're making a lot of good stuff on their own. You know, they've done Marco Polo, and they're obviously doing Daredevil, which is going to be out in April. But Zelda is a bit of a wild one.
I didn't expect it. Plus, obviously, they will have to collaborate with Nintendo.
True, but it's not exactly something that people are demanding a film version of or a TV series of.
No.
And
Plus the fact Link, the main character, doesn't speak, so...
That's, yeah, well, apart from the CD, like Sega CD version.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got that Philips CDI thing.
Yeah,
that was quite poorly. And you also had, years ago, when I was a very little boy, there was a Zelda cartoon, and Link, he had brown hair, not blonde, and he was just a really angsty teen. And Zelda would say something, and like this catchphrase for the show was "Excuse me, princess."
For fuck's sake! As soon as you start giving people catchphrases, you know you're on rough ground.
Yeah, unless you're Sonic.
Oh god!
Sonic was an ace cartoon.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. It was
No, it
amazing.
wasn't.
No way, Eggman. Anyway, a story posted in the Wall Street Journal states that, quote, Netflix is in the early stages of developing a live-action series based on Zelda about an ordinary boy named Link who must rescue a princess named Zelda and save a fantasy world called Hyrule. I'm assuming that was wrote for people who have never heard of Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, in the last 30 years.
Yeah. The article reports that, according to an unnamed source, Netflix is, quote, working closely with Nintendo. However, there is currently no writer attached to the project. The show could be potentially like a tie into the new Wii U game coming up, or it could just be something totally original.
Well, they've done that with Defiance, haven't they?
Yeah, I can't see it tying into the game as such. It might be based in this particular Zelda world, but
yeah, or the
I don't
timeline
think it'll
or whatever.
be. Yeah, but Netflix Wii U.
Can you actually get Netflix on the Wii U?
Yeah, you can.
I was going to say that would be fantastic if you couldn't actually see it on the Wii U.
I'm pretty sure you can get it on the 3DS.
Really?
I'm not entirely positive about that.
That seems
I'm sure you can.
Long stretch. Right.
I don't think anyone would actually watch it on a 3DS.
No, I'm pretty sure my phone screen's bigger than the 3DS screen.
Well, XL I think is 6 inches. The 3DS XL.
That's pretty big.
So it might be a smidge smaller.
Well,
But then again, our phone's 5'7".
I think 5'7", that rings a bell.
Yeah, because it was 5'5" was the Note 2.
Yeah.
And then the Note 3 was 5'7", and this has stayed the same size. Because we have Note 4s, because we're amazing. With the news of Netflix possibly developing a live-action Zelda TV show, we've decided we come up with ideas of games that we'd like to be made into a weekly episodic jizz fest. This is assuming the shows would actually be really good.
I was thinking more along the lines of the Mortal Kombat Legacy web series. Like, they did 2 seasons of that with Machinima, and I thought that was amazing.
It was very good, but
Considering the films that have come out for it previously, I would have thought they would have stayed well clear of the Mortal Kombat franchise and just keep it to games, where it's obviously got its strength. But the web series, like especially the second season, I'd say. But the web season,
bigger budget.
The web series was, it did, but it was done really well. You know, they knew that they only had sort of 10-15 minutes to squeeze as much as they could into, only a certain amount of episodes, and they got as much as they could into it. That's great. Defiance, I haven't seen, but I imagine that would be the same sort of thing. It'd be tying in on whatever was going on in the game.
I haven't actually watched it, but I imagine it's quite the same calibre as the game.
Yeah,
which is awful.
Well, you haven't played it, you don't know.
No, but the idea just sounds ridiculous.
Well, I think that was the point of both of them, though. It was supposed to be a TV show that was linked in with a game, and a game that was linked in with a TV show. So stuff that would happen in the season, like on the TV show, would be like missions to do in the game, to like either do the same thing or support them or be in the background. And I like to think that they do things like, like top players and would get rewarded by their character being included in the TV show.
Yeah.
Stuff like that would really make gamers think that everything they actually do in the game will have an effect and be put into live action on the TV show. I mean, could you imagine that? You're an amazing soldier or whatever in Defiance, and then they send you an email and just say, would you mind if we used your character loadout, your skins, your costume and everything, and we make a live action and put calling the same thing and putting into the TV show.
I don't think they'd actually have to. I don't think they'd have to ask you. I imagine that could just be in like the terms and conditions of signing up.
I guess, but I doubt that they could just say, because I mean, obviously they have to pay very close attention to if they use a real person's name or a real place's name. They have to say, we may have taken from people's likenesses and something, but it's nothing to do with them. But this is directly you're literally just saying, this guy's great, we'll just take him out and put him in as. I mean, everything about it is you still own. If no other player could have your name, I mean, they could get the same outfit and everything if they wanted to, but your name and what you've been doing and your missions and your stats and stuff, that's still all only relevant to you. So if they were just to take that directly and put it in, but I mean, I don't mean as in they just say, this is great, we'll just stick this in. I mean, as a reward. So first person to get to like level 100.
Yeah, they get to be in the show.
Exactly, yeah. So something like that, and it's linking the two together. I think that would be great, because obviously the series would be weekly, and they'd still have to be filming it quite regularly. And the MMO, they can update pretty much whenever they want to.
Yeah.
So stuff tying in like that, I think, would be a fantastic addition to.
I think it's a long way to go before that happens. I think they'll just focus on the actual characters.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's more of a story plot thing rather than individual missions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
it'd be good if
the
you
end game.
I don't know how they'd do it, but if you was watching it and you had it on the computer, and I'd say a particular part of the map, like say they had like a colony or a base or something, and it got blew up on the TV show, and it actually blew up on the game at the same time.
See, a real-time thing, I think
That'd be phenomenal.
That's a stretch, but I think
it's not going to happen, obviously.
No. What I mean though is that if that was to happen, say there's like a big base or a big ship or whatever, and that exploded, and then they updated the MMO, and you went back in and you're just like, where's the ship gone? And you're like, oh, it was in the TV show last night. Did you not see it? And you go, shit, I'll have to go watch that and see what happened. All my stuff was in there. So stuff that would have stuff that would happen in the show that would affect your game without you realising it. I think that would be fantastic. But yeah, what else would you like to see?
Yeah, because these are actually things that have happened.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a bit different, and I have reasons for my choices.
Okay.
No particular order at all, but I'd quite like to see a Deus Ex TV show.
Interesting.
My reasoning is there is actually a short film on Machinima Prime, and it is the best low budget thing I've ever seen. It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's about 10 or 12 minutes long. It follows on after Human Revolution,
right.
And effects like the CGI and that is just like puts a lot of blockbusters to shame. The acting's really good. The fighting, like the choreography, is phenomenally well done. The augmentations are all done superbly, and even the guy looks quite a lot like Jensen. And it's just really cool, and I am really gutted that it was just left at that. It was literally one short film, done, end of.
Well, a lot of work and time and money will go into just making that, and that's something that they may not have just been doing for the fun of it. They might have gone on a portfolio to get them a real job in the movie.
Oh yeah, it's part of it. Like the guy who made it, he has got an online portfolio of other stuff he's done, and they are equally as beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of it's very. I forgot his name. Star Trek guy, director.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it's the Deus Ex one is very much like him. Everything's
so a lot of
very
lens flare, a lot of
yeah. But the stuff he does, he's very artistic. This guy. It's just really well done, and even my girlfriend loved it.
I'll have to go and check that out because I do like. Oh wait,
yeah.
Is there any spoilers in it? Because I still haven't finished Deus Ex yet.
Nah, not really.
Okay, well I'll go and check that out. It sounds
it's really, really good. I think you'll like it. So I'd quite like to see something very much in the same vein as that, but as a weekly TV show. Sure. Dishonored, I think, would be a great TV show.
It depends on how you're thinking that they'd get a TV show out of it.
Yeah, it'd basically just be maybe a one-off season,
right?
Following the chronicles of the game, or something totally different but in the same world as Dishonored. Okay. I'm mainly saying that because I love Dishonored, and I just want more.
Right.
That's my biggest reason for that. I don't think you'll actually agree with me on this one, but I think Kane and Lynch would make a fantastic show.
I think
it sure as hell be better than the game anyway.
Kane Lynch 2 anyway.
I like Kane Lynch 2.
It was about 3 hours long.
There was some 3 good hours.
But yeah, I mean that's the characters themselves are quite compelling.
Yeah.
So you would want to see what they were up to on their own. So it would be maybe just Kane or Lynch.
Yeah.
And then it would be because obviously before the second game they spent years or months or whatever it was apart. So something maybe of what they were doing on their own through those times, and then season finale would be them together and then blowing stuff up, stuff like that.
Season 2 is them together. That'd be ace actually. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
In the same vein, Max Payne.
Now, Max Payne, I don't think would work as a TV show.
Really?
I think a film would be fine as long as it's a good film. No, as long as
I
it's
have
a good
proof
film.
that begs the diff.
Well, it
No,
still depends on who's writing and directing, but I think that because Max Payne is so... It's a long-term story, you know. It's some of them are set over months and years.
Yeah.
I don't think you couldn't just have like Max Payne as a policeman just solving cases and stuff. He needs that outrageous target, and he needs you know a billion things to shoot and blow up for no good reason other than just to get to whatever it is at the end of all this.
Think Banshee.
No, that's... I mean, Max Payne, just no. It makes... Banshee just looks like the Teletubbies. You know, the people just getting killed and raped.
Wait until season 3, Dan, before you pass judgment.
Yeah, but I mean, it's... Maybe if it was you know, after Max Payne's retired, so between 2 and 3 maybe. So, you know, he's just sort of bumming around, really.
Even though you've come up with this, I've actually decided to take that out and replace it, because I've just thought of something that would be better.
Oh, God.
God of War.
You'll have to explain that one.
Well, it'd just be like Hercules, the legendary James.
Yeah, I think we've had enough of those.
But with Kratos instead. No, that was... No. Crisis. I think that would make an excellent TV show. That was instead of Max Payne, by the way. Not
like
God
a
of War.
like a development of the suit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a very early prototype version of the suit.
So it would be just like Crisis 1 or before Crisis 1, you know, the invasion. And like developing the technology. Yeah, that could be quite interesting, because then there'd actually be character build up and story for I can't remember what his name is now, the dude.
I can't remember his fucking name either.
But either way,
before I said it.
but the like the development of the suit and the technology, and you know, putting it into practice, and yeah, that'd be
I
quite
think it'd be quite a good one.
It'd be a sci-fi action kind of thing. But
yeah,
it'd be alright.
And then this one is actually what my girlfriend came up with, but I do kind of agree, and I think again this is on the assumption that it would just be a really good show.
Yeah.
GTA in the style of Breaking Bad.
So more of a career criminal kind of thing.
Yeah, so probably not like Michael or Trevor or Frank.
Well, I think if they did a TV show, I don't think they could use any of the characters that are already...
No, but it'd be based in, like, maybe based in Los Santos or
so the
cities and stuff.
Well, I mean, they've done the same thing with Gotham, haven't they? They've obviously taken the main character and the main interest out and just focused on everything else that's going on. Same place, same sort of backing characters, and then just, you know, built up their own story around it. So, yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, because obviously GTA 5 took the likenesses and voices of all three guys who played Michael, Trevor, and Franklin.
Yeah.
What would be the harm in getting them in?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they would be there as themselves.
Yeah.
They wouldn't need makeup or anything, because that's how they are. That's what they look like, and that's what they talk like.
And they get paid.
Well, yeah.
Well, I actually do agree with her. I think it could be quite good. It's a kind of like actually dark comedy, drama, good story, good acting.
Yeah, it's just that a lot of it, because obviously it's mainly about the sort of the chaos and what you do on your own.
Yeah.
So you'd be taken away from that. But as long as, you know, the story was there, and because I mean, obviously the story is one of the main things in GTA. It's not just the fact that you can go around and shoot everybody.
I think as I've got older, I do less crime sprees on GTA games, and I do focus a lot more on. Like, I did notice that when I wasn't playing it properly, and I was just driving around or running around shooting, I got bored a lot sooner than I used to.
Yeah. Well, there's only so many times that you can just go out and shoot as many people until the police eventually take you down.
But no, my last choice is it's one or the other, either Mass Effect or Knights of the Old Republic.
Right. Well, those are the only two that I could ever think of that would be of any use.
Oh.
Because I think BioWare, better than anybody, make good story games, and they don't just make a good game; they make an entire universe. And then they make a good game from that universe. So I think that you wouldn't have to do anything to do with the Normandy and Shepard or the Ebon Hawk and Revan or whatever. You could just do it on a random planet or a random station in either universe, and then just what happens there.
Yeah.
Like any character that you could have interacted with would have their own separate life outside of Shepard or outside of Revan. And I just think that the scope for developing something in a universe that's already so established and so well received I think that the choices to take from that are infinitely better than anything you can put into a film, because a film would obviously be like one mission, whereas a TV show could be a development through, cast members. So every now and then, you might get in Ashley, or you might get in Garrus, or someone like that. But it would be set on all different worlds that people would know about, and you'd know who lived there, what species they were, what they were like. You'd know what their history was, and so you wouldn't have to spend 3 seasons introducing the Krogan, because people who are going to watch this mainly are people who've played it.
Played it already, yeah.
Which means they know who they are, they know what they're like, and then they can just get involved, and then all of a sudden the Normandy flies past, season end.
Yeah. That, to be fair, stuff like that though is what makes stuff. I mean, you sit there and you watch Arrow, or you watch Flash, or you watch Gotham, and something will be mentioned, like the first time we see Nisa and the League of Assassins is mentioned, and he's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And all they've got to do, so if they did Knights of the Republic, all they've got to do is mention Revan or the Mandalorian Wars, and people will just lose the shit.
Absolutely.
Even if it doesn't lead to anything, if they just drop that name or that particular war, people will just go mental.
Yeah, it's the Harley Quinn thing all over again.
Yeah, and it'd be perfect.
You saw that, and you knew that she wasn't going to be in it, but it was just still the fact that they put her in it.
Yeah, nice little.
And you're just like, oh my god,
it's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that you can base an entire season of like 12 episodes, say, Mass Effect, and you're a security. Well, no, sorry, you're not. Like the TV show would be set on like the Citadel or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just following CSEC maybe, just investigating crimes and stuff like that. And at the end of it, the Normandy comes in and docks.
Yeah.
Season end.
That's a perfect fucking cliffhanger.
Because you'd be like, what are they doing there? Is this part of the game? Is this before? Is this after? Your head would just explode.
But then does season 2 pick up with the Normandy, or do we never see it again?
Well, maybe season 2 should be the Normandy pulling out.
Yeah, so we never find out why they were there.
Why were they here?
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, like the season finale would be like, the big battle against the Reapers or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, like people in CSEC who obviously aren't as skilled and as powerful as like Shepard and his team, they have to deal with like a single husk or something, or a Reaper. They've been made aware of a Reaper, like a dead Reaper somewhere, and they have to go and go, what the hell's all this about? What's this? So it'd be before Shepard even knew about them.
Yeah.
So something like that. I mean, there's so much room in there. You could literally just go with any species, any kind, before, after, during any of the games, and it would be, as long as you throw in a few references to something that's going on, or name drop someone, you'd have people absolutely hooked on it.
Yeah.
As long as you keep that same writing, the same interest, the music as well, that sort of like 80s synth kind of music. Oh, it'd be perfect.
I think it could be a great TV show.
That's because I mean, the only thing I would say I'd prefer that rather than Star Wars is because Star Wars is already so big and there's so many TV shows about it. I don't think that another one would help matters.
I don't think people are interested enough in a TV show for Star Wars.
No, I think Clone Wars was the kiddie version of, but just to get it introduced to kids again. Maybe.
Yeah, essentially, it was a Disney property. Who watches Disney stuff? Essentially, it's kids.
Yeah.
So let's get kids back into Star Wars. We'll release the new films for everyone, mostly adults, and then obviously we've still got the rest of the kids stuff we can crack on with. I probably would watch a Star Wars TV show, like live action, but curiosity more than anything, and if it was shit I would probably not watch it again.
Well, the good thing about the Knights of the Old Republic is though, is because it's set so far before any of the films, no one who hadn't played the game would have a clue what the hell. And you could start with Revan and people would be like, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah.
Like me and you'd instantly shit yourself because you're just like, oh my god. So we know it's after the first one, and so it's between 1 and 2 maybe, or then you're guessing. But for anyone who just go, this is Revan, and they go, alright.
He's a new fucking Sith guy.
He's just got a mask on, I guess. That's cool.
The only problem with stuff like Mass Effect or Carter is obviously a lot of people love them because you can make choices.
Yeah.
obviously you can't, unless they have, like, at the end of the show, it's like, if you would like Shepherd 2, it's like you ring in and vote.
Phone in, yeah.
But it would actually be good if they had, like, something like that. Like,
No, well, that would be a good season end then. You know, the hero or heroes. If it was a Mass Effect thing, you'd hope there was a team. But, you know, it applies to both of them, Spyware.
yeah.
That they are left with, do we kill this guy? Do we let him go? Do we blow this thing up? Or do we keep it and study it? And then, until the next season is started, people can go online and vote for it.
Yeah. Well, they
Say,
did it
right,
with
this
Simpsons, didn't they?
Yeah, this is the cliffhanger we've left you with. What would you want us to do?
I'd
Who
be
would you
for
like
that.
to introduce? Something like that, so people can, again, get involved with it. They can feel that they are taking part in it, like they can with the game.
Yeah. Obviously, you can't do it every episode.
Oh god, no, of course not.
That's
No, I mean, it's
stupid.
like literally a season
Yeah,
thing
like the
where it's
season
gonna be like a
finale.
year gap. Yeah, yeah.
That'd be great. I'd be
Because then
up for that.
they could film both intros, and whichever one people liked, then they could, you know, show that and then release the other one on DVD, so it's not time wasted.
But yeah, or even online, if you wanted to. If she was like Bat in the Sun, usually do alternate endings,
Alternate, yeah, yeah.
and then they put the one up that didn't win later
Yeah, because I
on.
mean, people who voted for that still want to see how that would have turned out in their eyes. So yeah, I think that would be good. But I have just thought of a suggestion which would be
I have
less
thought of another
serious than
one.
the others. Conker. CGI Conker, 18 plus.
I'd be up for it.
Randy Squirrel just getting into all kinds of crazy shit.
I'd be up for it, but again, this is on the assumption that it would be really good. Where would it be shown? Because
Well, on TV.
obviously, no, I mean like FX or Cinemax or Sky or
Oh, right.
with it being a cartoon.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think. Well, you know, Family Guy is a cartoon, but you can't show that on BBC Two at 6 o'clock because there's naked people, there's swearing, people getting killed all the time, drug use all the time.
Do you remember what was that show on BBC Three? With the animals, it was fucking hilarious.
Oh shit! I know the one you mean. Where they were all.
It was like
there was like a
Mongrels or
fox
something,
and-
wasn't it?
Mongrels. That was it. Yeah,
It
yeah.
was fucking hilarious, but nobody watched it.
Yeah, I don't get it because it was edgy, it was funny, it was very dark.
It was hilarious. It wasn't a kids' show at all, by the way. It was on at like 11 o'clock at night.
Well, that's what this could be, though. You know, Channel 4, 9 o'clock, and it's just Conker getting out, getting pissed, fucking loads of people, just being really obnoxious.
People or animals?
Animals, whatever. Yeah, and then just getting into all sorts of hijinks and stuff. It could only be like a 10-minute show. Like Happy Tree Friends, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that'd work. I'd like to see it, but I think out of everything we've said, I think that's the most least likely.
Probably,
But it's
that's
the one that would be the easiest to do.
Exactly, I was just going to say that. It would be the easiest to
Yeah.
make.
If anyone's listening and you'd like to make it, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Right, you've got one more suggestion. We'll do that, then we'll leave it, I think.
Hitman. I think Hitman would be a better TV show than it would be a film.
In the way that each TV show, assuming it was an hour long, so like a full Banshee, 50 minutes rather than 43,
Yeah.
it would be given a contract at the start of the show,
Yeah.
ending the contract at the end of it.
Yeah, essentially.
Or, you know, over a couple if it's a big story plot thing. That could work. That could be absolutely fine.
I think it'd be much better than a big budget film.
Yeah,
Of
definitely.
a budget similar to Banshee. I'd quite like an art direction style of Banshee. And, well, Banshee season 2 and 3, not 1, because there's a lot of camera shaking in season 1.
Yeah.
But I think it'd work.
Yeah, I think Hitman. Well, obviously, it's got the attention of movie execs because they've already done it for. I think they're already doing another one.
Yeah.
But I think that a TV show, it would be more personal because it would be like the original Hitman, rather because obviously if Absolution wasn't just go here, kill this person, mission accomplished. Go here, like everything, every mission that you go on, every assassination that you do is for a specific goal. It's, you know, to catch whoever. Whereas the original ones, it was just like you've got a contract. This is who you've got to kill. Go and kill him. Then you go back to the agency. You get another mission.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's how it could, because you could just have an hour. You know, that'd obviously be a few days or a week or whatever. Spread it out, and it's just all the creative ways that you can dispatch everyone and then kill the target.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could work.
I think it would work well.
Any ideas to who played 47?
Matthew Rosenberg, Michael Rosenberg, Matthew, what's his name?
Michael Rosenbaum.
Him. From Smallville.
No, you're only saying that just because he's the only person you've seen bald. Patrick Stewart, he could do it.
Fuck. Hugh Jackman. Will Smith.
No, Patrick Stewart's bald, you idiot.
No, I know.
Will Smith isn't bald.
But he's also like 70.
He could just be an old 47. He can be 147.
He's a clone.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he doesn't age.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
Or maybe he could be like the guy who gave the DNA to clone 47 from.
This is 24. This is number 1.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be Agent 1.
No, I think he'd make a good Hitman. The dude from Smallville. He looks like Hitman.
No, I don't think he's rough enough.
Yeah, because Hitman's always walking around with a big beard.
No, what? So beard defines toughness?
Of course it does.
Yeah, because it does. So that means that God is the toughest motherfucker in the world.
Apparently he is.
Yeah.
So the legend has it. That was another good show, Bob the Devil and God.
Wow, I remember that.
That was funny as fuck, that was. Well,
That
again,
was
nobody
actually
watched
quite
it. Nobody watched it, though.
Yeah. Well, like, I've started getting back into Archer again, because Archer's just fucking dead funny. So I could see something along that sort of like cartoony kind of... It's, again, serious and funny, and not taking itself seriously, but it's still very violent from time to time. But it's just fitting the game to the show, I guess, and like the style.
Doable.
I guess. But yeah, I think those are some...
I think we've had some good suggestions.
Yeah, Bioshock would be good, but again, I think
Just
Bioshock
Dance
would make a better film. Well, if you can put Fast and Furious and fucking Need for Speed into a film, I'm pretty sure Dance or House of the Dead or something like that.
Well, they made a House of the Dead film, didn't they?
Well, that was in like the 90s though, wasn't it?
I think it was 2000.
Oh god, that's depressing.
I think it was a lot later than we think. The Sims.
The Sims would be a fantastic film.
Each week.
Everyone speaking Simlish.
Yeah, each week's a new Sim is made.
Yeah, and you just got to try and figure out what the fuck's going on.
That'd be phenomenal.
Oh, a Sim show. Can you imagine that?
Obviously, they'd have their own theme tune, not that. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, Grim Fandango show.
I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, that could be in that sort of Archer.
Yeah.
Like every week a new soul turns up.
Oh, Alpha Protocol. Brink.
Oh, God.
FIFA.
Brink, yeah. Do you know what? Brink would actually make a really good show.
Brink would make a better show than it did a fucking game.
If they actually focused on who's doing what and why, and then just worked the gunplay and the parkour and stuff into it as well. That would be an amazing show.
It would be quite good.
I think it would be if they did it with the same sort of budget and stuff with like they've done with Defiance. That would have been amazing. It's just that they've missed the fucking chance now.
Oh yeah, it's not going to happen now at all. Anyway, what's coming up on the channel?
Well, we've made good progress rebuilding the space station on Space Engineers, so we're going to be getting back into that.
Have we?
Yeah. Well, I have anyway, because you haven't been. You've been off gallivanting or whatever.
I've been busy.
Yeah, of course you have.
I've been planning stuff. Big
Oh,
things.
yeah, sure. Well, Wild Warfare was a pretty good hit. We enjoyed that, so we're going to be doing
Yes.
some more Greenlight 14. Other than that, though, I think I'm going to delete everything that I've got Minecraft related because there's quite a few servers and stuff that are just in different
Just going to
folders
start
and things.
afresh.
And just start all over again. So, new Minecraft series coming soon.
We have actually tomorrow will be a brand new Can You Believe It?
Oh yes.
And we'll also be filming some more of those because we don't really care if you don't. We really enjoy doing them.
Yeah.
There'll be a new episode of the PvP show, which is our little cartoon.
Yes. Always good.
Probably some DayZ. We haven't actually got round to doing any DayZ over the last few weeks.
Like I say, there has been updates that have been added in over the last couple of weeks, but the start of Q2 going into Q3 is where some of the major changes are going to happen. So I'd like to get some videos in with it in its current state, And then as soon as there's some updates, and because there's vehicles in there somewhere apparently. I still haven't found one yet, little fuckers. But there's still going to be updates and everything. So I want to try and capture them at different stages. So I'd like to get more than maybe 4 videos out of the year.
Yeah.
But it's just as and when, really. So we'll do a couple, and then we'll leave it a month or so, and then we'll do a couple more.
Yeah. We do need to play some more DayZ.
I do like it.
We'll probably do some more APB, actually.
Oh yeah, that was pretty fun.
It's been a while since... we did a video a few weeks ago, but we haven't actually played APB for a long time.
It was about a year.
Yeah.
Planet Side, some Star Wars, possibly some Star Trek, some MMO stuff going on as well. So we'll try and fit them in as and when we can do.
And we've teased it a lot, but we'll have a little red friend back soon. Dan's already forgotten what it is.
Little red friend. Oh, Elmo.
There you
versus
go.
The world or whatever.
Dan has just ruined it. But
I thought, I don't know why, I thought you were on about Flash. I was just like, it started back up again, what you on about?
Yeah, we've got a Flash game nobody knows about.
Flash game would be awesome, actually. But it's in the same category as the Superman game. It's just that they're so overpowered. You just couldn't put it into a game.
DC universe, I suppose.
That
Injustice.
That doesn't work. The fastest man in the world, and he's got about 3 steps that he can go. Seriously?
Yeah. You can go quite a distance on when you've got the Flash powers on DC Universe, you can cover a bit of ground.
That's true, but I still think that the best Superman and Flash representations have been in the Lego games.
Oh yeah, definitely. To be fair, that's with the exception of the Arkham series. Probably Lego variants of superheroes is probably the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's anything else that really comes too close. But news on Flash up games as and when they appear.
Yeah, I suppose they'll happen soon.
Yeah, but speaking of Flash, we'll as Banshees started back up again, I'm trying my desperately to get through that. Gotham, Flash, Arrow, and Walking Dead, by the time you hear this anyway, should have all started back up again. Which means that we will intend to return to the PVDC TV show lowdown.
We might have to change the name. I was going to say we'll have to change the name.
Yeah, and then just put a slash on the end and just have Banshee or whatever. Probably Walking Dead first, because Banshee's going to take me a while to catch up with. But because it got pulled because of footage being on there by YouTube and their stupid content thing, we'll just, I don't know, put pictures or something on and make it a podcast.
Yeah, we won't do it quite the same as we did last time.
Yeah, although we might be able to get that up, but I don't think it's going to be much point because it's moved on.
Yeah, we've passed the episodes now, so...
Yeah. But what are those?
We'll get that up as soon as we can. As soon as we filmed it. But that's it. That's all we've got time for. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you may. You have our permission. It is @podcastvplayer. You can check us out on YouTube, which is where you're probably listening to this too, which is youtube.com/podcast-versus-player. Or you might be on the website listening to it, which is www.podcastversusplayer.com or co.uk. Or you can email us at
playervpodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, Dan is a trooper. He does not forget things once he's learnt it 7 years later.
Metacritic. Woo!
And he can say Metacritic.
I know, right?
Yes. Anyway, as always, the last 3 things you touched with your knee.
I thought you were going to say knob then for a second. With my knee. Trousers, I guess. I don't know. I'm not I don't climb mountains or anything, so my knees are never really in jeopardy. I don't go tobogganing, and I don't suck old men off in car parks. So
no, he just uses the bathroom like everybody else.
Glory holes. Come on, it's slightly more hygienic. No, trousers, I guess, and my hands.
I suppose that's 2.
Well, that'll do. Maybe next week come up with a better one.
No, my plan is to just get you so you can't answer them all, and I've succeeded.
Well, I guess. But to be fair, if my knees have touched anything other than clothes, then I haven't noticed. I don't really pay too much attention to it, to be honest.
They may
As
have
long as they
sat
don't
down.
seize up or break,
They
I'm
may
fine.
have touched the desk.
Well, I've got a blanket on at the moment, so
There you
that's
go, there's a blanket. So
But
you
that's
lied.
between. I'm not naked right now. I have got trousers on underneath this.
Oh, what?
Sorry, I know that was in the contract, but
Anyway, we're going.
yeah, Jesus.
Say goodbye, Dan.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Mortal Kombat Legacy. I don't know why I said that weird.
Robot Down 3000 bot.
I'll say
Welcome
that
to
again.
the show.